Well, good morning. Today we're off to have a look at a tiny little cemetery in a place called Somerset, between Wynyard and Burnie in the northwest. It's no longer in use, but there are still people here that are being remembered. So we'll stick to the older part and not infringe on anyone's privacy. As you can see, the older parts basically go uphill, of course. They're the ones with the cast iron surrounds. If we look over to the west, you can see they're more uniform and regular, which is a sign that they're newer. Okay, we're at the top of the cemetery now, and I'll just give you a view over that. You can see it starts here and then rides all the way down to the flat, and the older ones are on this cliff face, which is what it feels like anyway walking up. But pretty nice view for eternity. You can see there's bits of concrete and whatnot there, which may have been an older site. This one here has no headstone. This one though, Daisy Alice, beloved wife of Albert Diprose, died 6th of May 1909. It's a 23-year-old. She's probably childbirth, I guess, but I'm not going to leap to conclusions. And over the back you can see there's another one with the cast iron around it, but no headstone over there. Okay, as you can see from the anchor there, this is a nautical bent. Thomas David Lewis, Master Mariner, born at Haverford West in Wales in 1831. Died at Dayspring on the northwest coast of Tassie in 1899. And his good lady wife, Maria Elizabeth, who was born in London in 1825 and died in Melbourne in 1896. Quite a substantial piece of marble, with some fairly heavy duty cast iron there too. Interesting pieces of iron around this one. Not a lot of headstonage, just this little piece, footstone sort of thing. It says 1909. One unfortunately has fallen off. It's mounting, but it's still no, it's not intact, but it's all complete. So Mary Clark, 1916, as a 75-year-old. It's always nice to see someone who actually lived a decent length of time in these old cemeteries. Again, no headstone. This is next to 75-year-old lady. But some chains there in the surrounds. The footstones are just too worn away to be able to read. And you know it's the footstones because that faces east. The idea was that on Judgment Day everyone would stand up and face the rising sun. It happens with these older cemeteries. This is Malcolm, only son of Walter and Alice Gardam, who died on July the 27th, 1909 at 11 weeks. The suffering people live with. Another couple of spots here, no markers, or maybe a foot marker here. We'll have a look. 1908, so an older one, but definitely no stones here, headstones, footstones, just the cast iron to mark where someone rests. Okay, so this is Catherine Ann, dearly beloved wife of Edward Cooper, from Ross Grange, which I assume is a property around this part, late of Silchester, England. Died in 1913 as a 65-year-old, and then Edward in 1917 as a 72-year-old, which is, you know, seems reasonable. And then you look down the bottom here, in loving memory of our little son, Sydney Dare Cooper, aged 1 year and 9 months. Can't get a date on that one, but yeah, we have life so much easier. Moving back towards the eastern side, we have Arnell Graham Anderson, aged 9 months, and also Willie and Cliffy Clark, cousins of the above, but no mention of Willie or Cliffy's dates of passing, or how old they were. This is one of those ones with the hand pointing up we've seen in other cemeteries. This is James Clark, accidentally killed on the 28th of February 1912, aged 38. I'll have a look in Trove and see if I can find any info on that, and I'll put it in the description below. And here's a nice one, relatively I guess. Charles Wallace, 87, and Bridget Wallace, 73. Still together, very nice. So this is one of the earliest shield memorials I've ever seen. Maybe it was put up some years later, but so this is in memory of Alfred Joseph Hall, 10th of April 1887. As a 13-year-old. So what's that, 1874 he was born. It goes back a long way, this cemetery. There are people that hang on for a long time after their spouses go, and there's others that don't. This is a long, long gap. So Mary Elizabeth Ann Hall from First West Beach, died in 1902 in her 60th year. And Alfred, her husband, hung on till 1942 to die at 94. So she was 60, he would have been 54 the year she passed. That's a long time on your own. It does get painful. So this is Greta, beloved child of R and E.A. Dart. 1st of February 1909 as a 2-year-old. Yeah. Okay, this stone snapped, as you can see, but we'll go around the other side because it's an interesting read. So this is William Dart, who was born in North Taunton, Devonshire, and then died in Wynyard in 1896 as a 71-year-old. And then Naomi, and we go up to the top there. I'm not sure where she's from, but she passed in Wynyard in 1920. So 24 years later. Another early passing, Kenneth Bruce Mackenzie. Couldn't come up with a more Scottish name, I reckon. In 1922 as a 15-year-old. And you can see the cross down there that would have been sitting on top of the marker. And next to Kenneth is Erica Maud Mackenzie, who died on the 2nd of April 1921, aged 18. Wow. Then at the back we've got Major C.R. Mackenzie, who died at Woodburn August the 7th as a 48-year-old in 1857. And Rachel Rhoda, who died at Rose War in 1899. That's a fair time gap. And she got to 80. Another one of those horrible ones. Florence Gelton, who died the 14th of July 1889 as 11 years and 10 months. You can see the funeral urn there on the side that would have sat atop the furniture there. So this is in loving memory of Thomas Wilson, surgeon, who died in 1890 at Alterville, Table Cape. If we just ease across here, just out there between those trees, you can just peek out Table Cape in the distance. And then of course his beloved son Herman Archibald, who died on the 9th of August 1891 as almost a 21-year-old in Alterville, which is the name of the property, Hawthorn, Victoria. Impressive piece of marble. Imposing cast iron. Once again on the far eastern side, nothing on that footstone, and the headstone's gone. If we come down the hill a little, we come to James Hyland. In 1893 as a 47-year-old, and his missus, I assume, oh no, father and mother of the above. Okay, he died in 1914. Frederick, and James passed in 1893, and then his wife in 1913. So 10-year gap, 20-year gap, 20-year gap. And then next to them, we have Lizzie Jasper Hyland, beloved wife of Frederick, who died in 1950. My God, that's 36 years after Frederick. Yeah, long run. Okay, this is Mary Ann, beloved wife of James Wallace Harnett, perhaps. 1924, age 64, and you can see it's more your standard grave furniture. And I'm assuming this is their son, Charles Allen Harnett, 17th of April 1919 as a 15-year-old. There doesn't seem to be a family that wasn't touched. So this is Thomas Ragg, accidentally drowned on the night of June 16th, 1901. As a 78-year-old. I wonder what he was swimming in. But Ragg's, there's a street named after the Raggs in Somerset. And that was what, 1901. Next door we have Thomas Ragg, 1909. Emily Wright Ragg, 1919. Edith Ragg in 1875, aged 12. And I'm not sure about the last person there. Ethel May Ragg, 1875. Always good to find mostly intact older large pieces. So this was in loving memory of William Henry Pace, late Sub-Inspector of Police and loved husband of Charlotte Pace. He bundied off in 1934 as an 82-year-old. And you can see the hands there together, so possibly we might have... No, she's not here. Hang on a tick. And then Thomas Pace, late Sub-Inspector of Police. Died the 2nd of April 1883, age 60. Must have been his dad, I guess. Or, yeah, or granddad perhaps. That one we just looked at was added. This was the original headstone for Thomas Pace. In sandstone, by the look of it, it's starting to wear, but you can just see the dates there. So this is to the memory of William Hill, 25th of January 1903, is Mrs. Anne Hill, 1898, aged 80. But at the bottom, his eldest son died on the 14th of March 1903, less than 2 months after his dad. Yeah. Nothing but the cast iron left there, and not even that on this one. There are a couple of foot stones, but as you can see, there's nothing on them. James Wallace Hartnett, 1913, aged 49. Which, you know, not good, but not bad either, I guess, given the times. So, Georgina, beloved wife of Alfred Hilda, 3rd of January 1907 as a 45-year-old. And then, just over a year later, her daughter, Ethel Margaret Hilda as a 22-year-old. 1908, 1907, and then Alfred lived on till 1941, carrying that grief. A little bit interesting here. We have Jessie Emily Wells, beloved wife of Henry. She departed life on the 8th of January 1908 as a 58-year-old. And next door is Henry himself, who was a corporal in Company A of the 69th, I think that's Indian Infantry. If you know otherwise, please drop a comment below. From May the 11th, 1828 to January the 7th, 1912. That's a fair run. And here we have Nita, beloved daughter of Walter and Alice Bardham, I think. It's hard to tell. Died in 1915 as a 19-year-old. Possibly the flu, I guess, that being the time for that. No headstones or anything, but some artificial flowers in there, so maybe whoever is resting there still has relatives about. This is a big one, and this one just screams of grief. So Lawrence von Bibra accidentally drowned in 1906 as a 14-year-old. Then Francis von Bibra, beloved husband of HM, she died in 1915 as a 77-year-old. And then, no, Francis, it's a he. And also Francis, beloved husband of HM von Bibra, who died in 1915, aged 77. And I don't know if you can make it out, but it says Harriet Maria, wife of the above. Died the 17th of March 1939, aged 93. In loving memory of Tasman, beloved husband of Emma von Bibra, who died on the 29th of June 1918, aged 47 maybe. Also their infant son Lewis, who died in 1911. Tells you how things have changed over the years. Now this is Sybil Julia Knight, beloved wife of Alfred, who died in 1900, aged 17 years. Wow. So this is May Bertha, beloved wife of Alfred, who died as a 24-year-old in 1901. And then her brother Joseph James Goodall in 1914 as a 38-year-old. Big brother, eh? So we got the cast iron again. Reasonable lump of marble with some vine work around the edges. This is James Boscall, 1905 as a 75-year-old. So what's that, 1830. And his good lady wife Emily, who died in 1926 as an 81-year-old. Yeah. Okay, so Lewis Shepherd on the 27th of November 1913 as a 53-year-old. And then his wife within 3 months as a 43-year-old. Horrendous. Okay, so this is in memory of Frank Bugg, who died on the 7th of December 1906, aged 15 years and 11 months. And then there's William, who passed away 1929. I'm assuming that's his dad. And next door we have Rebecca. I'm assuming is his mother. She lived on until 1950. It's an awful lot of grief to carry. So that about wraps up Somerset Cemetery. You can see over the shoulder there. There's a lot more from about the 1920s on. But as I say, a lot of these are still being tended, so I'll give them a miss.